Alright, so today, start off this video of sampling by explaining how the spectrum works and figuring out what key your sample that you're using is starting in, so you can know how to add other content to your music and still keep it melodic or harmonized with the actual sound that you're using as your sample. We're going to start off with this kind of dubstep sound. I'm going to make sure that it's still registering in that key. So it's actually registering in A right now. So in B to A. So we're doing like a slight pitch bend, but that's all in A minor. So this key is technically A minor. And now we know that we can write elements in A minor. Jacob, is there any way that like determines those kind of things, like the waves itself?
What do you mean? Picking out the peak or?
Yeah, just the highest value peak?
Yep, that, or if there's a sub in there. The sub's easiest to pick, but there's no sub in this one, so you just go with what is most present. Just being aware of pitch bending, which chromatic writing is not a problem, but just be aware of it.
Yeah, definitely. Chromatic writing can add some weird wonkiness in your dubstep usually, right?
Oh yeah, lots of it.
Nice. All right, so let's play around with some of the techniques of resampling, just real quick to touch on that and the different time-based effects that we can apply to samples. Yesterday it was pretty crazy learning all the different directions you can get to with some of these tools. I was really favoring the phaser one with the two different timings, like or the frequency and the feedback amounts. I had like a macro set up where it was going like this way and just allowing me to get like really weird tones and stuff, and then changing the modes and playing with all the different settings. A lot of variation, and like if you're using that within like automation just to do slight variations, you already got like completely different tones. That was a fun one. And then chorus, what were you saying earlier about the chorus?
Using chorus and not so much of like a tone shaping, but more of like a stereo space effect. The sound could be great. Other than that, not too much in basses. That chorus would pop up.
Yeah. I've used chorus in the past to make like really weird sounds, but I never really like got anything super amazing out of it. It's like more like effects and stuff, like making the sound spin. I noticed it's like almost like a vibrato in a sense on certain sounds if it's like resonating with the frequencies right, and you're automating this. I think it's the rate itself and like going up with the amount that makes like really trippy spin stuff. Let's see.
Yeah.
Drop the phase real quick. Yeah, you lose some of the velocity of the sound.
Yeah, that's why you definitely never want to go over 50% because it will wash your sound out. But it's also good to keep in mind it does wash your sound out. So if you ever need to wash a sound out, maybe chorus is the go-to.
Huh. I never thought of it like that. That's cool.
A problem is always a solution for something else.
Yeah, that's really true. I found like using it from like a 0 millisecond and pushing it up like very slightly with like some different settings and configurations. It sounded pretty cool, like vibrato. Just depends. Like sometimes it's not very good with these kind of tones.
Yeah.
You can get some weird ass variations. Some people like that stuff though. Like I don't know. I've heard people.
Yeah, you could get some crazy stuff with chorus, but again, it's for the filth. Not so much.
Yeah.
It can give you some metallic-y tones sometimes, some metal tones, high tones.
Yeah, I noticed if you drag it like in different corners and stuff, like some of it's like that metally tone a lot. I think it's always the right one. Something about the right one's like making the rate go really fast with the amount. I've literally heard people use like straight tone like that. I'm like, dude, that's a bit too much chorus, honestly. Like, you can make it sound cool, I guess, if you resampled it and like really tuned it and everything, but I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
It just seems like a lot harder to do it that way if you already have good sound and you just want to do like little things to it. I'm really digging the phaser, a little bit of simple delay, not heavy, because it gives like a tone like that, but like in a more controlled environment. I was noticing with Redux too lately that like if you do that and then EQ the Redux to get rid of like the what do they call that term?
Raspiness from it.
Yeah, like the audio fragments or whatever they're called.
It's Redux is good. Both settings. Soft and hard.
Yeah.
It's good for transitions too. Automating it.
Yeah. When I was playing with it on some leads, I was doing this. I was like cutting out to like 5K or something pretty low, and then like cranking this more. And it like made some weird tones because you're not getting like that full like crispness of the Redux.
Yeah, exactly.
You can kind of push like some mid-range sound. I noticed a little bit. Just different like combinations of trying those things. I'm still like blown away by the phaser, and I want to kind of walk through real quick on what I set up yesterday and how I was using it in sense of writing.
It's the little details that can separate your track from everyone else.
Yeah, or give you the variation that you're looking for within a phrase without stepping far away from like the original sound you started with.
Exactly. Keeping the initial idea going instead of drifting away from it.
Yeah, it's very, very helpful. I didn't even realize how powerful it was till yesterday when I was writing that song, honestly. Which I think I'll show at the end of this video, just like the different variations with the same sound. But pretty much I just like grouped the track so I could enable like the modulations easier without having the full window. And then I had like a bunch of other stuff that was being turned on and off by the automations and the macros. Setting up a lot of macros just to give me more control with like a bunch of different inserts and variation. But for the most part, I just like set this stuff to like the 0 value. Dry wet was 100%, and then I was just kind of like setting these two up to not map. I like mapped this one to macro 1, and then I mapped this one to macro 2, and pretty much I just showed the automation on the grid and kind of found spots that I liked. Let's see, audio effect rack, frequency and feedback. Yeah, so I had like 2 lanes open, which I just used a little plus mark to drop down each lane. No, not in the mixer. We were in audio effect rack. So frequency and feedback, I had like their own lanes, and then I was just kind of messing around with different spots in the phaser insert to see like what kind of tones I could generate difference. You can just like change the tone of phrasing or make it like really phasery. Like some of the rhythm people have been messing around with stuff like this, I'm pretty sure. Just generating like interesting tones and stuff. Playing with these 2 lines to get different combinations of tone. And that one, it's a little interesting. And then for the one shots, I was just like doing stuff like this. I don't know, it just helped a lot with the phrasing. Like when I was making variation within all of it, I would have like all this set up, and then like on the first one, I would have it change like drastically. Just do it in good timings, and then it creates like some sort of movement that's like got a pattern to it. Like to make these
exactly. It's in a way, it's you're still writing the music part of the song, so it needs to play a part in
it. Yeah, give it that bit of variation that your ears are craving, because your ears like change over time, even if it's not like drastic change.
Exactly.
Like just do some weird one on this one, so it's not like the same as the first phrase, and just get like some movements within that that phaser's parameters that you're automating. Just kind of like makes more interesting phrasing, and like when you play around with this kind of stuff, you're making like dubstep or messing with different tones, you'll notice that like you can dial in certain areas and get good phrasing across the whole thing. There's like a lot of stuff you can do. I haven't even played with this line. Let's see. It's like increasing over time, or you could like copy these things and do different values, but with the same movements. Yeah, go the opposite way to give like even more subtle variation within the patterns and stuff. Oh. Grab this to about there. And the lanes are really convenient, like for copy and pasting automation. I don't know if most people know that. Like, you have like the option to do the little drop down like on the actual channel by itself, but I feel like when you're getting into a lot of different variation within automation, having multiple lanes where you can see it all visually in time with like another automation really helps out. Trying to get different variations and combinations of movements within inside the sound. Let's see what that sounds like so far. Maybe even like reverse this one so we get that back and forth of like whoop, whip, whoop, whip. Copy and paste.
That really ties in the headbang now.
Yeah, it just gives you that bit of variation to like kind of move you a little bit more. And like it's not like the greatest example, but it could really help if you have like just different sounds or different directions you're trying to take with a sound.
Yeah, exactly. I think that leads us perfectly into showing them your song, and we do plan on filming more of these sessions for you guys. We do have a general topic going into these, but at the end of the day, the more information that drains out in these, the better for you.
Yep. We're also open to feedback on what you guys want to look at and for us to explain. Here's a project that I was making yesterday, and I think it's off that same sound initially. Like I have this sound right here. Oh, actually, no, it would be from this sample. So basically what I did is I was messing around with some vocals we recorded, and then I put the program Glitch by Illformed on top of the vocal to get like just some variation for the progression in this song, and then it like output this sound for some reason. It's like really loud electric like vibration sound. I don't even know. Pretty trippy. Then I have like some delay on it and shit. But yeah, that was where I started, and then I kind of just like changed it up throughout this progression to get that tonal variation I was talking about with the phaser. Yeah, that's when I have like the phasers automating on and off just in certain areas to like get a bit of variation within the sound. Oh, oops, wrong channel. Yeah, so it's just enacting like in certain movements that I wanted. Turning on and off to give me like a little bit of variation within the phrasing. Let's take a listen to the song real quick. This is where the vocals started, and then like I kind of just resampled, added some light synthesis and processing to this whole sample-based production basically, but it's all recorded samples, so it's still original. Every day, holding it down on my way. Every day. That's just like me turning on and off some of these like phasers and different. Oh, we didn't talk about autopan. Autopan can really help too in controlling that movement with the phaser.
Yeah, that's some advanced stuff. Leave it at that, guys. That leaves you guys a lot to digest and rewatch and take notes on. There's it may not sound like much, but possibilities are infinite with just this one little thing, and setting up chains, because now you go from one plugin to multiple, and the combinations go from infinite to more infinite.
Yeah. It's a never-ending like process of finding new things within the same sound. Honestly, like I can't even understand. Like this is the first time I've actually done this in a production. I mainly used like a resample of this tone and just like made all these different variations that you're hearing in this last phrasing of the part B of the drop. It's like all the same sound but just slightly variated, and you hear like all the different push and pull with the phasing, the different speeds of things. Definitely something to play around with.
Yep, sound's a powerful thing. That's gonna be it for this one. We'll wrap this one up. Like I said, we're gonna try to do more of these coming out on Sundays. These will be brought to you guys. And again, comment topics you want to learn, because that way we're able to, out of infinity, know what will satisfy you guys.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Oh, and this song, What Elias Can They See, this release in the future from?
This is going to be actually released next month on the ciphers that we do. If you go to Y, like the letter, Not Us, all one word, on SoundCloud. You'll be able to find all the music that I've been releasing under Solarious recently.
Beautiful. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Till next time. Peace.
Take care.